gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Slovakia Onion Rings. I am very attractive, and with me as my co-host, noted Tau apologist, Mike Magas.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
He's already trying to apologize.
Whoa! Those are fighting words, sir.
Yeah,
Complete
but you're
fighting
have to crawl
words.
all the way across the country, and you don't even have a shotgun to put in your teeth.
I mean, I can find a Tau Pulse rifle, which will have greater range than your shotgun.
It depends.
And that is the only thing about the Tau that I will apologize for.
What if you roll a 1?
I mean, if you roll the 1, then you miss, and it's not great. Unless you're Karn the Betrayer in close combat, then you just hit yourself. Or your allies. Your allies. You just stick a big meat mob around Karn, and he just cuts his way through the enemy and your own men. So
there should definitely be a pizza called a meat mob.
There really should. Someone needs to get on that. Get some ground beef on there. Get some Italian sausage.
Really,
I mean, it's a mob. It's got to have Italian sausage
with one piece of diced chicken breast right in the center of the pizza.
I mean, this is possible. I'm not really a big fan of chicken breast on pizza, actually, but I don't know. It's like the one meat that just doesn't do it for me. Whoa! Somebody has stopped. Somebody has stopped in the middle of the pit lane, which is a bit interesting. One of the Turner BMWs. Anyways, there is your starting grid, pending any last-minute heroics here. Christoph Verstappen will lead the way from the pole with Luciano Ichazo, and then look at this. Mike Stopmill, 3rd place. What world are we living in?
He's sandbagging.
Limited GT4 field today. James Butler starting on the pole there from Javi P and Alex Loeffler. Very disappointed that I missed this race because it would have been a great chance for some points. I really, really like this track, and there were only 8 GT4 cars. I was guaranteed a top 10.
Then where the heck were you on this one?
I was unable to attend, unfortunately.
Is it because your internet's crap?
No, I was with the... what was I doing on Saturday now?
Cocaine?
I mean, there might have been cocaine. The fact that I'm not overly recalling what I did is suggestive of...
It was either cocaine or food poisoning. No, nothing else.
No, I already have my food. Oh, you know what? The internet guy was here. That's what it was.
That's what I said.
The internet guy was here to install my new package, and it didn't get installed. And I'm not getting it. And I'm not terribly happy about that.
Well, I can dig on that.
Because they would have to dig up the lawn and run a additional line to the house. And they did not tell me that initially. And as a result, the landlords were like, nah, you're not doing that. And I'm like, yeah, no, I totally understand where you're coming from. Here we go. So as a result, I'm limited to my current capacity and will probably swap over to Rogers at some point once I get a job again and have some cash coming in. Because
dang welfare peoples.
I have researched the Rogers packages and they're like 10 times the speed for like a $5 price difference. It's a thing.
I would enjoy it.
Here's Fran Machuca battling with Ichazo. Ichazo got off to a really bad start there. He's dropped from 2nd down to 4th there in his Callaway C7 Corvette. I believe the only Callaway in the field, actually. And he is still not up to pace. Ariel Zatoni and Fran Machuca are all over him. And there was a little bit of contact there. I wonder what the steward thought of that. Zatoni is under pressure as well. That is from Martin Edmond, who is, of course, at his deadliest right now because he still has tire life.
I agree.
Just having a look if there's any new faces in the field today. I believe this is the debut of Fumihiro Kobayashi in the Enduro series. He has done the other multi-class series in the Daytona Prototypes, but is running probably a move that he's going to regret, which is that Ford GT that he is running. That is not a competitive car, so we will see what happens there.
That sounds like a Stoff Meal challenge.
I mean, he did the Ford Mustang challenge already, which is more of a challenge, so I don't even know. I don't even know what the challenge for Stoffel is at this point. Although Christopher Streppen has been giving a good fight against him in the ACC, so let's see if that transfers over to the RRE.
Is that going to give you an STD?
We got a McLaren off the track, and that is Caleb Gonzalez in the 650S off the track. He is going to drop very far back. And that is also a car that, though it's gotten a tweak recently that has brought its BOP a little bit up, it's still a little bit to the back of the pack. Not nearly as bad as the Ford, but it is not a top-tier car. But that being said, it is motherfucking Caleb Gonzalez.
Hell yeah.
So at the end of the first lap, it is Verstappen from Stop Mill and Ichazo. So Ichazo is up to third due to Gonzalez spinning, it should be mentioned. But having a rough time out there in the C7 and in the GT4 category, which we have seen virtually nothing of, James Butler leads the way from Douglas DeGroat and John Barker. Bad starts for the guys who started second on the grid, because Javier Perez Torres, who started second in GT4, is back to fourth place. I wonder if there was maybe some kind of problem launching off of the outside line.
Well, what probably was is there's all kinds of gophers on the track and kind of slid out.
The Mark Australia car is Bertrand Barre in the waste disposal car.
Nice, I like it.
Waste management car from
Just
Australia.
take out the trash. He's right behind you.
I like it, actually. I enjoy that livery. It's a relatively nice, simple-looking green car, but it's very nice. There is the man who was stopped in the middle of the pit lane. That is Fran Machuca.
Fran the big choo-choo Machuca.
See, Travis Wallace is still using the car that I picked for him. It's good. I mean, when he was like, I need someone to pick a livery for me, and it needs to be an M6. I'm like, the big red one. I mean, that is the only way this is going. Caleb Gonzalez still at the back of the GT3 pack after his spin, so we'll see if he comes through the grid or not, and what the problem was, because it looked like he was kind of on his own when he spun. Montan Edmonds still on the tail of this group that goes from third place Ichazo back to the sixth place spot that he occupies. Even if Machuca and Ichazo are just slightly stretching their legs right now. Slovakia Ring, of course, is one of the more interesting tracks that Race Room has, of course, because one thing about Race Room, and I've said some shit over the time about Race Room because I'm not terribly happy with some of the directions that their physics are going in and so on, but the track selection is fantastic. You get a lot of tracks here that you just are not going to see in other games. This is one of them. Slovakia Ring, very solid track, very enjoyable. A lot of overtaking opportunities, wide track. I think we had a fantastic F4 race here not that long ago, where I got to make fun of Travis Wallace's inability to calculate fuel for like the entire commentary. That was fun.
I mean, math is for sissies, really, so.
Math is a big part of racing, to be honest. Sean Kenny and Andrew D squabbling for position there behind Travis Wallace. And further back, who is in the waste disposal car? That is Barrier, who is fighting with Richard DeRocha. DeRocha is quite a ways back there. 10th place with Big Rich.
And you thought you could have had points.
Well, I'm not in this category. I mean, I'm in that orange category at the bottom.
Well, I don't know. That Juan Barcadero kid probably put you in the wall.
Juan Barcadero is super nice. If anyone's going to put me in the wall, it's James Butler.
Hell yeah.
The Butler did it. Simpsons did it. Andrew D looking to go down the inside of Sean Kenny and gets the job done. I do like that PlayStation BMW. It's very nice, actually.
Don't worry, it'll red ring. And by that I mean the entire wheel will fall off.
Some quick ESR news. We are doing on August 23rd a multi-driver event in Assetto Corsa Competizione, which you can check out in its own channel under the ACC section of our Discord. 2 confirmed entries so far. Wesley Stokes and Murray Iwanchuk will be partnering in Alexis RCF, and they will be joined on the field by a Ferrari 488 driven by Simeon Naku and Daniel Mundringa.
Who's been drinking?
Madrinka, not you drinking.
What, you want my drink?
No, I don't. Have my own, thank you very much.
Because I'm not sharing.
I has my own.
It's Friday, I've had pizza, I've had a power nap, and now I'm having some delightful cider. Grown right here in the beautiful British Columbia.
Today's commentary fuel, Innis and Gun.
Ooh, very nice, very nice. Would recommend if anybody out there listening has not had an Innis and Gun, holy shit. Jump on
especially if you get the black one, the Irish whiskey.
Oh yeah.
Innis and Gun. That is fantastic.
Well, they've got so many special editions and stuff. If you see any of them, just grab it and try it. Holy shit.
Yeah, there has not been a bad one yet. I'm just saying the black one is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to find that one too. It tends to be the limited brewed option.
There's only so many of those barrels they got.
So, heading into the pit lane already is Fran Machuca. This is interesting because we are only not even 10 minutes into the race. The only thing I can think is that he made a mistake on his fuel calculations and left his qualifying fuel in? Question mark.
He left the oven on and had to go home.
Also a possibility. I mean, real life problems could be a thing. That'll promote pretty much everybody in the GT3 field up a spot, so they can thank him for that. Andrew D getting a little bit wide there. Mike Stockmill still running in second place here behind Christoph Verstappen. Verstappen did beat him at ACC, and he's trying to do the same here. What do you think? What are the odds, Byron?
7.
7? Is that 7% or like 7 to 1 or what?
It's advanced odds theory. You wouldn't understand.
I see.
It's like downtown Vegas sort of thing.
So it's like so advanced. It's like the dad theory that Zane Simon was peddling on the section.
I would agree, but I don't think Zane Simon knows his own dad.
Richard DeRoche getting past Sean Kenny there. Travis Wallace has done them both in, and actually Barrier is going to follow him through on Kenny. So Kenny is dropping like a stone.
Travis has got more DACA.
So the dad theory basically is that at the upper weight classes of MMA, your success is basically on your dad energy and how much you can just sun people. They were using Ed Herman was on the card. He's got big dad energy, according to Zane Simon. He's like, "Did you not see the Kadis Ibrahimov fight? Kadis went for like a hip toss, and Ed Herman just had this look that was like, this is adorable. Now get my belt." and then he proceeded to sun him.
Look, my favorite thing in the world, if I'm ever tussling with somebody who has to try and tussle and wrestle with the big guy, is they will inevitably try to do the hip toss, and I will just slide up their back and end up basically crucifixing them. It is the best.
It's great. It's great. The other big dad, of course, is Donald Cerrone. That they always, whenever Donald Cerrone fights, their theory is that if you are a lightweight or a welterweight, how you fight Donald Cerrone tells them everything they need to know about your relationship with your dad.
I mean, he does look and smell like he just had to come in from the barn, and he's not happy about, like, he was about done his job.
He was about done his job, and you called him in early. Caleb Gonzalez is working his way through the field, having overtaken Wayne Hutchison and Fumihiro Kobayashi. He is now up onto the tail of Max Simmons.
He is my hero.
Also, there was a whole bit because Ed Herman versus Gerald Mershart, which are the two pastiest gingers in the UFC, basically fighting each other. And they had this whole thing where, like, it was a blurry vision of red and pale, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand. And Zane Simon was like, then they wiped the Vaseline off the camera, and you realized it was Ed Herman versus Gerald Mershart. And Connor English is like, that is correct, because it sure as heck wasn't speed that was making it blurry. These are the two slowest guys in the weight class. I'm actually really looking forward to that fight tomorrow. In a very bizarre way, Javi Perez Torres going down the inside of John Barker. Javi P. Bad start to the race, but he's coming on now.
He can do it.
Spot is going to go back to Barker, though, as he gets the inside line on the next corner and moves on through. BMW dominance a bit lacking today with a Porsche leading the GT4 category in the form of James Butler and also Shannon Flynn and Mauricio Delgado in the top 5. Respectively driving a Lotus and a Porsche. Should be mentioned we may have lost Douglas DeGroat. He is shown as a lap down to the entire GT4 field. This is a pretty long track, so to have been lapped, I have to imagine it's either been really rough for him or he is in fact out of the race. Sean Kenny trying to get back past Bertrand Barrier. It has been a very rough day for Kenny, although he is up to 9th place now. It looks like Andrew D might have fallen back at some point. He's now showing in 10th. So maybe some problems with the PlayStation BMW M6.
Are you telling me that Jonathan Kenneth has not found the frequency?
He's not found the frequency yet. That is definitely the case. Because, I mean, at one point he was battling with Travis Wallace. Travis is up at 6th place. He's back in 9th. Martin Edmonds trying to find a way around. And, I mean, he better soon because the Anger God is chomping at the bit behind him.
Rawr.
He's coming to destroy you. He is the Bloodthirster. He requires skulls for the throne.
Travis Wallace, the only man to treat fucking corn nuts as juju beans.
Mm-hmm. There's probably someone else who does that, in fairness.
I mean, I enjoy them.
Caleb Gonzalez picking up a spot there on Max Simmons off camera. So, Caleb coming.
Giggity.
So, battle on, still here. 3-way fight for 4th place and top... Oh, no, not top BMW honors, because it's Christopher Streppen. But the battle between Travis Wallace, Martin Edmonds, and Ariel Zatoni. A lot of smoke there. There's somebody went off the track.
No, that's just Javi.
Javi is the big smoke. Oh, Sean Kenny!
Oh no!
In the background, Sean Kenny loses it. He'd broken away from Barrier. Actually, Barrier is falling way back, so he may have pushed Barrier off the track.
Suggested that he relocate.
Suggested that he relocate in a manner not terribly dissimilar to the American government and the Native Americans.
Correct.
And Richard DeRoche's caught up to this battle now, so this is a 4-way fight. All BMWs for 4th place. Once again, I question the car balance this game because the BMW M6 in real life, it sucks.
Little spoiler alert for those watching at home. It's going to be a 17-way tie for 5th place.
That'll be interesting. Not even sure how you'd make that happen.
Well, various penalties. And,
various rigged penalties from the steward for time, yes.
I may or may not have slipped in some ribs.
He would be very prone to being bribed for that. He's a big fan of the ribs. Those who wish to bribe Marshall or Steward Jack, you can do so with ribs, but you got to pay me directly. I take my own surcharge. Ribfest actually coming up in about a month here in the area. We'll see how that goes with the COVID.
Poorly because I wasn't invited.
Probably not going to go this year. Just saying. We're not as bad as America, but we are not good either.
Yeah, basically, your province and the province next to yours is a shit show. But we knew that ahead of time.
Well, I mean, we're the densest population centers in the country. It's, you know, it's bad to
And
happen.
you're also the most thickly populated. Hey, it's your boy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's actually Alberta.
It was a joke about being dense. God damn it.
I know,
Science.
but I can't help but throw the shade back on Alberta.
That's true. I mean, it is an easy target, and they can't read.
It's a really easy target. Can't computate numbers either if the election results were any indication. Well, Travis Wall spins it.
Too angry for this world.
He's too angry for this track, that's for sure.
Angry.
And that'll throw him out of this battle and promote Richard DeRoche to 6th place.
Big old Richie D.
Grande Ricardo is coming.
See.
Oh, so damn it, I don't even remember what I was going to say. I had something. And I don't remember what it was.
This is an STD.
It's not an STD.
It's obviously syphilis, because now you can't remember anything.
No, that's my friend Jeff who's got the syphilis.
Oh.
When I say friend Jeff, I mean dude that I worked with for like 6 months.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And really didn't leave a tremendously good impression anyway on me. Coming up to some GT4 traffic here. This is the battle between that's Sergio. Oh no, Richard DeRoche and Martin Edmonds had contact. DeRoche is in the sand trap as they came up on blue flag traffic, and it looked like Richard was going to try and capitalize with a move down the inside. And I'd have to look at it closer, but I don't think that was really ever on. And Martin Edmonds now on the outside of Ariel Zatoni, looking to get that 4th place. So rather than losing 5th place, he's going for it here to try and grab 4th. And he's got it, because Zatoni spins it around.
Yeah, done got hit with the Z-tones.
Having a really good battle here for the lead. James Butler, John Barker, Javier Perez Torres, all in a tight line there. 1st through 3rd in the GT4 category. I haven't seen much of the GT4s in this race, but it looks like they're having their own good squabbles. And coming up behind them now is the race leader, Christopher Strepp, and Richard DeRoche around the outside of Ariel Zatoni, who is recovering from that spin. So, on the bright side, Richard did get past Ariel Zatoni. He just lost a bunch of other spots in the process. Sean Kenny looking to get through as well. Nothing doing at this time.
What if you just tried harder?
Christopher Strepp is still at the front of the pack by 2 seconds over Mike Stockmill. We'll see if he can hold that. This is a really trippy camera angle that we just got there of Sean Kenny.
I paid the camera or the helicopter guy to do a barrel roll.
John Barker has lost 2nd place to Javier Perez Torres. That occurred off camera, unfortunately. They're now quite a ways behind James Butler, though. So I think ironically, their squabbling may have just worked out to Butler's advantage. Sean Kenny. It's been an interesting day for him, and when I say interesting, I mean incident-filled. I'm being recommended, Friends, the top 20 funniest moments. I feel like that is. I feel like that's not a video I'm going to watch.
I think there was like 2.
I don't think I even ever watched an episode of that show, to be honest.
I never did watch a full episode.
At no point. I saw most of one at the dentist once. That was about it.
Never did see a full episode of Friends, Seinfeld, or The Big Bang Theory.
Seinfeld and Big Bang Theory I've seen. My cousin loves Seinfeld, so it's unavoidable. It's okay. It's best I can give it, really.
Pretty much.
Big Bang Theory occasionally did something kind of funny, but also occasionally just was weird. Barrier versus Simmons battling over 12th place. And behind them is, of course, the not terribly fast, but very steady Wayne Hutchison. And it will be Barrier for the time being. Simmons is falling back through the field. I wonder if he's struggling with tire degradation or something of a similar nature. We're less than a half hour into the race, so he really shouldn't be facing any kind of significant degradation to the tires, but you never know. Just let Martin Edmonds have a crack at them. Travis Wallace up on the tail of Andrew D. So Andrew D through. Oh, go! John Barker! John Barker spinning!
That seems to be happening a lot here.
Part of it is the GT physics that this game is starting to employ. The cars are very easy to spin under the right circumstances. And that's part of what people are not really loving about the game right now.
I think they should just replace the tire compounds with big block size.
So Douglas DeGroat for sure is out of the race. He's now 5 laps down to Mauricio Delgado, who himself is way behind Sergio Mendoza. So looks like the GT4 field that was already struggling for bodies is very down right now. Oh God, Travis Wallace squeezing between the lap car and Andrew D. I'm not sure if that was the most intelligent move of all time.
Could be worse. Could be on fire.
It could have ended a lot worse, to be honest. There were a lot of bad possible answers to that scenario, and none of them happened, at least. Travis on the inside of Andrew D. Can he get the job done? The answer appears to be no, but I would like it if the camera stuck with that. Because Travis Wallace has gotten the job done.
I'm fairly convinced that the camera's never going to stick with the fight you want to watch, ever.
Yeah, I know. Well, there is the fight. Travis Wallace now ahead of Andrew D. So, GT4 update. Butler's still leading from Javier Perez-Torres and Shannon Flynn. Oh, that is not a healthy looking Ford in the hands of Kobayashi. Looks like she may have had some contact.
It's fine. It's just winking at you.
I mean, it's possible. They may have that advanced technology from Disney's Cars or something.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
It's a movie franchise with talking cars that winked and, animatronic cars. I've actually never seen it, but I'm told that it is actually not bad. By the standards of a kids-directed movie. Or targeted, I should say, not directed. James Boutelier are leading the way from Javier Perez-Torres, Ariel Zatoni, and Sean Kinney weaving their way through, while still continuing their battle for 9th place. Hopefully I will be able to attend tomorrow's multi-class race. I am going to he's not really my nephew, but effectively my nephew's first birthday party. So
make sure to bring him a stripper.
I feel like that would be inappropriate and would not make me the favorite uncle.
It really depends on what kind of party it is.
My cousin, it's my cousin's kid, and of course, as he is an only child, the assorted first cousins have been dubbed aunts and uncles. Because Lord knows my, actual siblings are not going to provide me with kids that they in any way take care of or acknowledge exist if they can help it. Oh no! Andrew D. and Travis Wallace. Contact. It's going to let Caleb Gonzalez up into the top 5. So Caleb Gonzalez has charged back to the top 5 after his lap 1 spin. Now, how permanent that is the question. We have had our first pit stop cleared. That is by Kobayashi, Fumihiro Kobayashi in the Ford. By the way, you're a Japanese driver and you're driving a Ford. I have questions, sir. Large questions. Where is the Nissan? If you're gonna go legacy cars, you might as well go Nissan.
Well, he was gonna drive the Daihatsu, but you guys are all racist.
That has nothing to do with racism, sir.
Is that not what racing's all about?
No, that's classism, technically.
Oh.
We're very, very... racing is not... well, I mean, you could say it's racist because, there's a level of wealth that most people of a darker skin tone are not terribly capable of making happen. But, I mean, hell, Jackie Chan owns a racing team.
Well, actually, that's the Chinese government that owns that racing team.
I mean, they do own a part of it. And there is, of course, Bubba Walls. You're also hot micing.
My bad.
There we go. We apologize for Byron's sticky push talk button.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like one spring in there that if it gets offline a little bit, it's in my mouse. If I use my keyboard number 1 key, it doesn't work. It doesn't happen. But on my mouse, if I hold it open, it's not my fault. It just gets misaligned and I'm not staring at TeamSpeak.
Yeah, that's more than fair enough. Wayne Hutchison still on the tail of Max Simmons. Talk about two guys that represent complete opposite ends of the spectrum of racer. Max is uniquely talented, amazing innate pace that he apparently doesn't have to work very hard for at all because he's a child. I say that because he is actually very young.
He's 8.
He has a tendency to go super, super late into ACC races, but we don't really think that he's considering the tactical applications of that, to be honest. Whereas Wayne Hutchison, last of the late pitters, a man who will make up tons of ground towards the end of the races because he'll have way fresher tires and just a smooth, consistent way of handling the car. And they are battling over 12th place. There are still pit stops for everyone but Kobayashi to follow, and that'll be a thing. Not really sure what's up with the timing, because we're not at 1 minute... Guess what we're at? We're probably at 1 hour, 1 minute and 14 seconds. I think that's what we're getting here.
No, that's literally 1 minute left. Have you not been paying attention this entire time?
There is not 1 minute left, I assure you.
Oh my god. Have you listened? We talked about all of the heroin.
There we
stuff.
go. I was right. We are now down to less than an hour to go.
Stupid timer messing up my heroin jokes.
It cleared me. It cleared me. I'm not on the drugs.
Mike was having a heroin nap for an hour. I had to carry the whole thing.
I was having a nap earlier.
Me too. Heck yeah. I think Wayne Hutchinson clearly has the best spoiler in the entire game. Come on.
I mean, every other Mercedes has the same one?
No, his is the best.
Javier Perez Torres putting the pressure on. Went to the burrito shop earlier today, and somehow they thought I was ordering a quesadilla and a burrito, so now I have a quesadilla in my fridge.
Very nice.
So
pronounced quesadilla, sir?
Quesadilla, yes. It probably won't be all that good tomorrow, but it will be the emergency dinner tomorrow if I don't get a decent meal at the birthday party.
There you go. What Javi, if you're out there, please translate a quesadilla. Would that just be like houseadilla?
Houseadilla, maybe.
I don't know what dia means.
I don't actually. This is a good point.
Because quesadilla is like cheese, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Queso thingy.
Yeah.
So casa is house or home.
Mi casa dia?
See, mi casa a dia casa.
Mm.
Welcome to Spanish tutorial with gringos.
Welcome to Spanish tutorials with people who do not speak Spanish. In fact, we speak more Portuguese than Spanish, to be honest.
That is well, I don't know. Maybe. I think I have a firmer grasp on like how to interpret Spanish than I do Portuguese.
Could be. Rich DeRoche was off the track there and then has put Travis Wallace up into 6th place. VP!
It's a hobby for Peterborough.
Kevin Holland is fighting tomorrow, which always is good things because, as every commentary break or every analyst of MMA will tell you, we don't know what happens when Kevin Holland fights. That's how that works.
Please tell me that Kevin Holland is from Belgium.
He's American.
So much for my European jokes.
Indeed. It's kind of weird. Kevin Holland is one of those guys who is like, wrestling is for bitches and me. Because he will wrestle. He will call you a bitch. He's one of those Nick Diaz style trash talking fighters.
So he's like bad at it.
I mean, it seems to distract people, so I don't know.
I've never been impressed with the Diaz trash talking style because I know neither of them can read.
Yeah, see, I'm just full stop not overly impressed with trash talk during a fight in general, but I mean, if it works, I can't really question the effectiveness.
That is true.
And I mean, just watch the Michael Johnson Nate Diaz fight and the Donald Cerrone Nate Diaz fight, and you will see the trash talk. It worked. Javi Perez Torres looking for a way past James Butler there for the lead of GT4. It's amazing how calling an MMA fighter a motherfucker apparently actually works.
That just makes me want to fight harder. That would like be encouraged. Like, yeah, now we're having a fight. Come on, let's go.
Well, in the Diaz's case, that might not actually be a bad thing. That might actually be what they want, because what is the worst thing to do when fighting a Diaz? It's fighting the Diaz's fight, because they are very, very good at their specific subset of MMA.
Yeah, but they're very, very good in as much as they can piss you off and then get under your skin and get you off your game. It would not. You call me a motherfucker during a fight, like street fight's a different thing, but during like an MMA match, that just made me fire up my competitive juices and encourage me to fight to my utmost best. And that's not what they're after. They're looking for shook up and angry and making bad decisions type people.
It works more often than not, though.
Huh? Maybe.
I mean, try to think of two fighters in who have had like long, successful UFC careers, and who have a very obvious path to losing that somehow don't lose. Fran Machuca overtaking Max Simmons there. Why is Franny back? Oh yeah, right. Fran hit that early pit stop. That's what I'm forgetting. So he's still working his way through the field and has a pit stop still to go. Because I mean, like, if I were to list like what are the Diaz's good at? Okay, cardio, jiu-jitsu, volume boxing. Not particularly powerful punchers, though. Next to no kicking game. Wrestling is pretty deficient. Game plan is pretty deficient.
Every time you kick them more than 10 times,
somehow they win. Yet somehow, well, that's the thing. Like Michael Johnson spent like a round and a half doing everything you do against Diaz to perfection. With the low kick, with the jab, try to, keep it a ranged kickboxing match, and then he just started to rush in because Diaz kept calling him a motherfucker and insulting his mom. Even after the fight, like an interview he gave, like I don't know, maybe like 2 days later, he's like, I knew the game plan, and I just lost myself out there.
I think that's more on Michael Johnson than it is on the Diaz brothers.
I mean, it may say something about the people that they're beating with that tactic, but it still is producing wins. I mean, it's just all I can really say on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Andrew D overtaking Ariel Zatoni. That is because Zatoni is in the pit lane, so he's the first of our regulars to hit the pit lane for his mandatory pit stop. Things have apparently not gone well for Kobayashi after that pit stop. He is now down a lap to Wayne Hutchison, so problems for the Ford GT driver.
You shall overcome. Or not. I mean, those are your options.
I feel like there's a somewhat unlikely chance that he will overcome. I mean, I guess it depends what overcoming is in this instance.
What if he sings "We Will Overcome" nonstop until he does so?
I mean, he'll be at it for a while at the rate he's going.
Well, it's that kind of negative attitude that means that you miss races like this.
I feel like that's not the case, but okay.
So negative.
I mean, not that I'm not not negative, because I have negative thoughts. These are things, but as a general rule, I'm not any more negative than the next person.
That's negative.
Except for my brother Kyle and his infinite self-belief that is incredibly misplaced.
That is weird, and you're not wrong.
Because he is the alpha male.
Yeah, it's because he can only spell to the letter A.
It's as far in the Greek alphabet as he's gotten. Andrew D on the tail of Sean. What is the frequency, Kenneth? Although looks like Sean may have finally found the frequency a little bit. Seems to be humping along pretty decently. Mike Stopbill is dropping back through the field. I assume he's in the pit lane.
Maybe.
We will find out. Oop, can confirm. He has just come out of the pits. So Stopmill blinks first. We'll see if what Christoph Verstappen does in response. Does he try to run long, or does he just come into the pits now to try to cover the undercut?
Maybe.
One would think he's got to come in now. I wasn't paying attention to the gap between them, though, so I'm not sure if it was growing or if it was staying steady. There is Mike Stopmill. He's got Max Simmons on his tail. Of course, there is a pit stop difference between the two of them.
Is Max Simmons in this Sriracha car? Is that what that is?
The
Castrol.
Hoff.
Gross. That's horrible on pancakes.
I wouldn't recommend it. Andrew D on the tail of Sean Kenny. Been a rough day for both of them. John Barker back in P5 in the GT4s. He had a spin earlier on, and that let Javi P pass him. And Javi P is now in the lead of the GT4 category. So go Javi P. Go Javi P.
It's your boy.
It's your boy, Andrew D. Not to be confused with ya boy Corn.
Indeed, no. Your boy Corn is a unique individual.
Not seen him the last couple of times I've booted up the Rocket League. This makes me sad.
Indeed. It's like playing World of Tanks and not finding the entire nation of Kenya.
Well, there's a couple in World of Tanks to make you happy on that regard.
Run into Combat Wombat, that's pretty good.
Combat Wombat is solid. Booted up Mech Warrior for the first time the other day and headshot Nilo, so I was happy with that. The second time I think I've headshot him in a random pub game and just been like, yeah! Andrew D going around the outside of Sean Kenny, and a drive-through penalty. Speaking of the pit lane for Alex Loeffler. So this race
just got spicy.
It's gone from bad to worse for Loeffler, who's not having a very good day. I do know, because the stewarding report was released, that he also received a penalty. So things are rough in the world of Alex Loeffler right now. Approaching the halfway point of the race, so we should see some pit stops here, kind of en masse in the next 3 to 4 minutes.
What if they all wait to the last minute to pit?
That's gonna be busy as shit pit line.
That would be awesome. Everybody wait till the very last minute in the race and pit all at the same time.
It's really not a problem though, because I do believe this track does have 23 pit stalls. So there's none of the sharing of pit stall that sometimes happens at tracks where you will literally pit on top of another car.
I'm in favor of these things.
If I'm not mistaken, this Ariel Zatoni in the pits again. Or no, that's Christopher Streppen. Okay, Christopher Streppen is in. So let's see where he comes out in relation to Mike Stoffmel. So that is the question of the race lead. By the way, Martin Edmonds, who are you trying to kid going out long like this? Who are you trying to kid?
Because he's long and he's strong and his tires got the friction on.
So Verstappen is rejoining. Looks like it's going to be ahead of Mike Stoffmel. We will see, though. Looking at the gap. He's behind Machuca. Still losing time.
He's just Machucling on down the line.
Looks like he's out. Stoffmel's within a second of him, though, so the pit stop strategy, I think, you'd have to give it to Stoffmel this time around. He's right on his tail. Sean Kenny putting a lap on Sergio Mengual. So there is the battle for the effective lead of this race. Mike Stoffmel on the tail of Christopher Streppen. Who do you got your money on?
Travis Wallace. He's going to come through
Travis
and just
Wallace,
put everybody in the wall.
Travis Wallace currently in 4th place. Has not pitted.
He will never pit.
But he does have the Byron boost. He is turned into the Mario Kart bullet.
He will never pit. He is too angry to pit.
Oh, Caleb Gonzalez, speaking of pitting, into the pits he goes. Oh God!
That sounded tasty as fuck.
He just murdered Martin Edmonds.
Pitting in the pit lane, penalty 5 yards.
So, I believe that was a penalty, and I'm just gonna say, if you hit somebody in the pit lane, it doesn't look good for you.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's one of those kind of pretty much instant penalties. You know, you've heard of instant oatmeal. That's instant tier 2.
Pit maneuvering in the pit lane, 5 yard penalty, second down.
I feel like that'd be more like a 10-yard penalty.
It's a 3.5 minute major.
Or a 15-yard unnecessary roughness.
Well, it's always necessary.
Was it necessary to salt the earth so that nothing would ever grow again? Yeah, it was. I'm trying to remember what athlete it was who gave the interview. And it was like, are you sure that that violent act was necessary? He just goes, totally necessary.
Absolutely.
Drive-through penalty. Speaking of the pit lane for John Barker. This day is not going the way Barker probably would have wanted it to.
Well, I mean, in an ideal world, he'd be so fast he'd already won the whole race by now.
I mean, you're not wrong. All All right, still to put pit, we've got the top 3 in the race: Travis Wallace, Sean Kinney, and Bertrand Barrier, as well as Max Simmons in the GT3 category. In the GT4 category, James Butler, Javier Perez Torres, Shannon Flynn, Sergio Mengual, Mauricio Delgado, and technically Douglas DeGroat, but I'm also entirely certain that at 15 laps down that Mr. DeGroat is out of the race.
No, he's coming. You just wait. This is a cloud of dust building in the background. That's him coming.
He is summoning the storm. Jerry Lynn! I was watching OSW again.
Jerry Lynn, awesome.
Jerry Lynn is one of the most underappreciated wrestling talents of all time.
Correct.
Sergio Mengual and Shannon Flynn in the pit lane in their Lotuses. Their low tie.
Indeed.
Stop Mill still on the tail of Christopher Streppen. Still more or less that half second behind. Oh, somebody was in the sand trap there, and I believe it was Ariel Zatoni. And it looks like Zatoni is going to pull the plug and throw the grenade. He is out of this race. Drive-through penalties, speeding in the pit lane for Shannon Flynn.
Dang, dudes. You should be doing all the speeding on the track.
I mean, that is the ideal location for it. There's no racetrack speed limit.
Speeding on the track, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Automatic fourth down. Oh, by the way, I've reached the end of my first, well, not my first, but my, like, your first season as league's most outstanding lineman in the Canadian football game.
That's pretty hilarious.
I'm surprised it took you this long to get there. You've been an all-star every season of your career. This is your first, this is like, after in your 6th try, you were just the most outstanding lineman, finally.
Well, I mean, I probably crippled everybody else.
Probably. I'm not gonna lie, this is quite likely. You and your brother are a massive pancaking duo.
You're going down.
Where are the guards? We protect our quarterback.
Are you excited for the potential of the DC Sentinels being a real thing?
I'm excited. Luciano Ichazo. Another drive-through penalty for Bertrand Barrier. Jesus, guys, it's called a pit limiter. And Max Simmons needs to get his ass into the pit lane because he's being overtaken by everybody on fresh tires. Like, dude, there are 39 minutes left. We're way past the halfway mark. Shed the old tires, get the new ones on already.
Bertrand, you speedy pit laner.
Looking at Sean Kenny and Travis Wallace, okay, they're in first and second place. No one's overtaking them. They're trying to stretch your legs, but Max, you're in the middle of a bunch of fresh tires. Get in the pits. Get the fresh rubber on.
'Tis what she proclaimed.
I know you're too young to understand the value of fresh rubber.
Don't keep it in your wallet.
Yeah, don't keep it in your wallet. Don't do what that kid on Friday Night Lights did with the, like, how long have you had that in your wallet? God damn, no, throw that out. Travis Wallace is in the pit lane, taking service. This is given Sean Kenny for a brief period the lead until he makes his pit stop.
Sean Kenny first place.
Christoph Verstappen has managed to stretch his legs and get a 1.5 second lead over Mike Stockmill, and that is the effective battle for the lead, although right now it is on track for second place. Max Simmons is going around again. I don't think this is a good idea, Max.
I can see those things wobbling. You're going to fall off before you get around again. Caleb Gonzalez not near the front. What the hell's going on here?
Well, he spun out on lap. Oh, whoa. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
You boy with the angriest pit lane in the world.
Yep, Travis Wallace speeding in the pit lane.
Saw that coming.
There is some cussing going on right now, I assure you. So Travis Wallace, who's looking at like maybe a late run to the top 5, I think that drive-through penalty has kind of debunked that now. Although the car behind him, Bertrand Barrier, also has a drive-through penalty, so at least that battle will continue.
Drive-through penalties for all.
Sean Kenny still in the lead, although that is by virtue of having not pitted. By the way, he lost 3 seconds that lap to Christoph Verstappen. So, gentlemen, it is time to get rid of the old tires. And I'm talking to Max Simmons, talking to Sean Kenny, and I'm talking a little bit to Javier Perez Torres, who's currently in the lead of the GT4 category.
They're not old; they're vintage, and you wouldn't understand.
They are past their best before date.
Whoa.
Sean Kenny may finally be in the pit lane, or either that or he went off the track. These are your... Both of these are possible, if we're being honest. Whoa! Travis Wallace finding the extreme edge of the track as he goes through on Mauricio Delgado. Decides to duck in and take his drive-through penalty.
Extreme.
Get that pit lane limiter on there, Travis. Chugging through the pits. Why are we getting this view? There is Martin Edmonds, who, after problems in the pit lane with Caleb Gonzalez, does not have the happiest of front ends.
It's fine. It's a new front spoiler.
I mean, it's a spoiler, that's for sure. All right, so Verstappen actually has got himself out to about a 3-second lead over Mike Stockmill, so that's working out pretty well for him. Luciano Chazo in 3rd. Simmons, still yet to pit, 4th place. Caleb Gonzalez, 5th. 6th for Richard Roche, 7th for Barrier. 8th for Edmonds. Barrier, by the way, has a drive-through, so he'll drop. Sean Kenny and Andrew D rounding off the top 10. In the GT4 category, it is James Butler with a 6-second lead on Javier Perez Torres, who I think just stayed out there too long. He needed to pit to cover the undercut that Butler was putting on him, and he did not. And that is cost him the lead. Sergio Mangual, Shannon Flynn, and John Barker, your top 5. Not sure if Barker has served his drive-through yet or not. Didn't see him, but I assume at this point he has. And he'll be looking to overhaul the 2 Lotuses to get his butt on the podium. Only one BMW on the GT4 podium, which is really weird, as that is by far the best car in the class.
If Sean Kenny ends up crashing into the wall, is that a goodbye kitty?
Probably. Oh, this is a couple of times now that Mauricio Delgado and some of the lapping cars have gotten a little closer than is comfortable. right on board with the Cornley Motorsports car of... Oh, wait, this is the Dunlop Motorsports car of Martin Evans, who is being chased by Sean Kinney in the Cornley Motorsport car.
I'm gonna get you.
Looks like Barrier has served his drive-through penalty and, in fact, has dropped behind Travis Walsh once again. There he is in the pit lane in the green waste management car.
I approve.
Time has got to be running down on the pit window here for Max Simmons and Mauricio Delgado. Disqualified! Ignoring a drive-through penalty, Bertrand Barrier.
I say, Bertrand, you have failed us all.
So he stopped. It looked like he was in the pit lane, but it looked like he stopped to do a pit stop effectively instead of doing the drive-through.
Does that not count?
No, you just got to drive through and click serve penalty on your pit menu.
Yeah, I would think that a whole-ass pit stop would serve just as well as a drive-through penalty.
Problem is that the pit stop allows you to fix the car, possibly, and that's not permitted under a penalty circumstances.
Okay, didn't know that was a stipulation.
So,
you learn something new every several weeks.
Yeah, well, it looks like maybe Bertrand Barrier was with you on that one and didn't quite understand the nature of the penalty.
Well, if I didn't know, I don't expect anybody else to know.
This is true. Byron is actually the most knowledgeable racing personality in the entire Discord server.
I have to drink a lot to play dumb. Well, I mean, I don't have to, but
yeah,
it's more fun that way.
Really, the commentary is just him on the verge of alcohol poisoning.
As Me First in the Gimme Gimme's playing Too Young to Feel This Damn Old plays in the background. Actually, in my head right now, I have Smooth Rider by the Dave Matthews Band. I'm not sure why. I haven't heard that song in years. Smooth Rider.
I always forget that is the Dave Matthews Band, ironically.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know why.
Because you're a bad person.
Oh, one of the BMW GT4 is off there. I believe that is Alex Loeffler.
I will probably be posting that song on the Album Alumni Discord channel. If anybody would like to join the Album Alumni musical Discord channel, please holler at your boy and I'll give you a link.
It is an interesting and often enlightening experience.
Indeed. Mike posted some ABBA or something today. I haven't checked it out yet.
Did not.
It's basically ABBA, come on.
It is not. Richard DeRoche really fighting hard with Max Simmons, and I hate to be the pick on Max Simmons guy today, but god damn it, Max, get in the pit lane.
Is there a mandatory pit on this? Or
there is a mandatory pit stop.
Okay, what's the...
It should be closing fairly soon.
Alright. That would be handy to see that somewhere on the screen. Or do the racers have that, displayed?
The racers do have a countdown of what's left on the window.
Well, maybe he just wanted to see how long you could go on them tires.
Well, he's losing more time now as he's battling with Richard DeRoche. Oh, God.
Well, hopefully this is a learning experience for him.
Almost destroyed John Barker there. And that is DeRoche through. Kids at home, this is why you don't stretch your tires to the absolute maximum.
I mean, even Martin's not that crazy.
Well, I mean, in fairness, Martin's tires wouldn't have lasted this long.
These equal true statements.
They would have rolled away from the car in protest. Someone call Tire Protective Services.
Correct.
We've been abused. We've been mistreated. Duquan Weems ain't got nothing on us. I know you didn't actually pay attention to the wire when the kids were on, so.
Well, I only made it halfway through that season. I need to go back and start that again. I know who Dookie is.
Dookie. The new Bubbles.
Apparently.
More or less. That was the interesting thing about the whole kid thing, is that they were basically just the new version of already existing characters. Showed the cyclical nature of Baltimore.
Is there a child Omar?
There is.
Okay, I'll go back and watch it then. Stoffmill was watching the Wire, and it really piqued my attention.
It got you all. It got you right in the feels.
Yeah. And I finished watching The Witcher, so that was good. Like that. That's a thing off my list. But now on my list is either I restart season 4 of The Wire, and then watch season 4 and 5, or go onto my Amazon account and watch The Boys.
The Witcher is currently 3rd on my watch list. I'm doing a rewatch of Star Trek DS9 because I want to.
Because you're really into the guy Scroto?
Yes. And number 2 on my list is finishing up The Expanse, and then it's on to The Witcher.
The Expandables? Is that the one with Sylvester Stallone?
Nope. This is The Expendables.
The Expansibles?
Oh, The Expansibles really does work for that group as well. Alright, John Barker is currently getting a view in his rearview mirror of Sean Kenny overtaking Martin Emmons for 7th place, and also in this battle is Andrew D. in the PlayStation BMW. Kenny briefly got the spot there, but has been reeled back in by Martin Emmons. And if we're being honest, just, take your time and just wait for Martin to move the tire. Max, will you get in the pit lane?
Nope. Disqualified.
Shannon Flynn off the track. Mauricio Delgado has also gone way too deep on these tires. So it's not just Max. I want to make that clear, but Max is currently the standard bearer for the my tires have gone way too long.
Your tires is tired.
Like, this kind of run would work if I had great faith in Max's ability to just overtake the field on fresh tires, but I don't. So I don't know what he's doing. Max Simmons, not a graduate of the ESR Academy. I would like to point that out. We would have taught him not to do this.
Well, I would have taught him to put on the big old mudder tires.
Sean Kenny looking down, was looking down the inside of Martin Emmons, and then suddenly Martin found pace and legged it back into 7th place.
I have a jug of paste in my fridge. It's good on burritos.
Sean Kenny down the inside of Martin Emmons, looking to make the move. And ooh, that was close. It was very close. Martin is making that car very wide. And Andrew D wants a piece of this action.
Good song.
By the way, this three-man fight is catching up to Max Simmons, so assuming that Max doesn't pit, this could get interesting. Travis Wallace is catching up to it as well. Mistake there by Kenny. And that will cost him 8th place, at least for the time being, to Andrew D.
The D stands for delicious.
I did at one point know what the D stands for, because every time he donates money to ESR, I have to remember that that's him.
It's Daihatsu.
It's not Daihatsu.
Derringer.
Not Derringer. If it was Derringer, I'd be like, dude, you just need to use that name. Like, you just need to accept it.
Andrew Dillinger Escape Plan. It's hyphenated.
Max Simmons watch, still not in the pit lane.
He is slippery boy.
Oh, he is finally in the pit lane. There he is. All right, so the only car yet to pit to serve their mandatory stop now is Mauricio Delgado.
What happens if they don't pit during the mandatory pit window? Do they get
They receive a massive time penalty,
which is hilarious because they're also receiving a massive time penalty based on them tires.
Mm-hmm. So it's like basically a double whammy.
You incur a 1.5 second penalty.
That is not the case. It's much more than that. I believe it is 120 seconds.
Dang, son. That's like half lap.
That's a full lap.
That's the joke.
Wayne Hutchison overtaking Max Simmons as he exits the pit lane. Yeah. So Max is basically last of the cars that we are seriously considering in the GT3 category, because no offense to Mr. Kobayashi, because the problem is not you, sir. The problem is you chose a Ford GT. Like, that's all there is to it. You were not going to be competitive here today, and Simmons rejoins in 12th place. We'll see if he can make a run as this train of BMWs and Mercedes are putting a lap on Sergio Mengual. Sean Kenny trying to get back at Andrew D. Travis Wallace filling up his rearview mirrors with angry redness.
Rawr.
Travis Wallace is that really big infection coming for you in your finger. Mauricio Delgado has missed the pit window and will be eating that penalty. Oh, no. Apparently he just got it done. Just in time.
Cha-cha.
Oh, that was close. It was very close. Could not have waited any longer.
I mean, I could have. I've got patience.
Andrew D bumping with Martin Edmonds, trying to get that second place in the Canadian standings. Travis Wallace, the background. Sean Kenny. Everybody is going all over the place. Any of these cars could come out in front right now, and we will see what happens here. It is going to be D, followed by Edmonds. Kenny holds on to 8th place ahead of Travis Wallace. Never mind what I just said. Travis Wallace got the spot. Anger God, 8th place.
Oh no, he coming.
Mr. Omar Little, I knew you'd come back. Travis trying to get past the... not actually sure if Martin's car is damaged. Oh, God! Contact. And Martin Edmonds off the track and out of this fight with Sean Kenny, Travis Wallace, and Andrew D. with 20 minutes to go. I was watching the broken Matt Hardy amnesia stuff. That was fun.
Is it because broken Matt Hardy is entertaining AF?
He is. He was particularly entertaining when he was being told that he was broken Matt Hardy and didn't remember that he was broken Matt Hardy. That was interesting. You didn't tell me I was a good violin player. I'm a pretty good violin player. Oh, look, I'm going to cut the lawn. Right over my brother's artwork. What am I doing? Matt, just get in the lake of reincarnation. Matt, I brought you here to talk to Skarsgård. Who is Skarsgård? He's the boat. How do I talk to the boat?
Still the best. Though I think the best part of that whole run for me was still when they left the Rock and Roll Express up on the cherry picker.
Pretty much.
I don't know why.
anything to do with Senor Benjamin kind of comes to mind. Yeah. That's what it says. Senor Benjamin, yes, Senor. Prepare the lawn for battle. Although the Gregory Helms slash Hurricane Helms slash Shane Helms Lake of Reincarnation bit also very, very good.
That is true.
You're not Shannon. You're not Evan. They were way better than you.
Travis Wallace currently coming around the infamous corner of El Conquistador into the backstretch leading from the taco stand over to the emergency services vehicle.
I think we might have lost Kobayashi as he's dropping behind the GT4s. Oh, there he is in the pit lane, not moving by the looks of it.
I mean, that's the whole point of the pit lane, right?
Well, the point of the pit lane is to get to your pit stall and then stop moving. He's in the lane still, not moving. So,
Well, maybe he just knows his lane.
I wonder if Mr. Kobayashi has done a fuel miscalculation and is out.
That is equally as possible as Sean Kenny headbutting Pomegranate.
Oh, that's very likely.
That's what I'm saying.
Max Simmons' watch, he is catching Wayne Hutchison on those fresh tires that he got himself less than 30 minutes on.
Fresh tire.
I'm sorry, Max, but I cannot help but pick at your strategy for this race. It is you are a very fast driver, innately talented, like I said, but the strategic side of things, I think it needs work.
I mean, you're probably not right.
Travis Wallace, Andrew D having a good. I'm not sure if we've seen Travis Wallace versus Andrew D like for a serious position before. Wondering if this is a first.
Maybe. I would have to assume that we have seen them in the same race doing the same thing at the same time at some point.
Probably. I just cannot quite recall.
Is it because of the heroin?
I mean, it's part of the problem.
Fair enough. That's the first step in recovery, is admitting that you have had a heroin nap.
Whoa. I said nothing about having a heroin problem.
An experience.
Kobayashi is still blocking the pit lane. So, if anyone needs to pit, they may be in for an adventure. I never said anything about having a drinking problem. I just said I drank.
The drinking opportunity.
It's only a problem if you view it negatively.
It's one of those only quitters go to meetings.
That's true. Fran Machuca now on the tail of Martin Emmons, so admin fight!
Put him in the wall!
They are coming up to Javier Perez Torres, who is slowly eating into the lead of James Butler on fresher tires. So, may be able to make a showdown here late, although Butler's tires are in pretty good shape. He went pretty deep into the race himself, so I don't foresee this being a huge problem.
Javier creeping up towards the front like a slow pulled pork on a grill.
Sounds delicious. Making me hungry now.
Put some of that chimichurri on there.
You're gonna make me eat that quesadilla.
Hell yeah, you gotta get a quesadilla with the thing. Get a whole case of quesadillas.
Travis Wallace looking down the inside of Andrew D. D gives him the squeeze, but I don't think it's enough to stop the juice.
It was the running joke when my brother used to work at restaurants. He would, if they needed cheese, he would, and a lot of it, he would write down that he needed a queso.
And the Ford GT is still stopped in the pit lane. Somebody needs to get out and move that.
Somebody needs to come onto this track with a bus and just park it on halfway across track.
It's basically what we got in the pit lane right now.
The one true Kyle and I like to watch Robaz on Steam when we're at work because he's crazy and Swedish, and he plays at Wreckfest a whole bunch. And somebody on his server keeps bringing like a bus and will semi-intentionally wreck on a corner, so everybody for the whole race has to go around his corpse. It's like an interesting hairpin kind of technology.
Modifying the track to become a whole new thing. Fran Machuca still on the tail of Martin Edmonds. In the meantime, at the Christopher Streppin's got an 8-second lead over Mike Stockmill. It is just not worked out for Stockmill today. Still looking at a solid second place, though. He is 32 seconds ahead of Luciano Ichazo.
Yeah.
Whoa, Sean Kenny.
Jonathan.
There is the smoke from Sean Kenny's spin. He didn't lose any positions, surprisingly enough, but has lost the tail end of the fight with Andrew D. and Travis Wallace.
The question remains, what does Travis Wallace look like?
Not a bitch.
I could answer that question, but I'm not going to.
Ford GT is still parked in the pit lane. Fran Machuca looking down the inside of Martin Edmonds. Martin defends.
Defense.
That is what Martin's got right now to try to hang on to this 9th place. And Fran Machuca going hard, of course. We leave this fight in progress of high consequences for 9th place to bring you Andrew D. kind of just in the draft of Travis Wallace.
The D stands for delicious.
There is Martin, and he is indeed going to lose that spot, I think, to Fran Machuca. Although Fran is leaving that door open, but it will be Machuca who wins at least this round of the admin fight.
Indeed.
Well, and then Martin's going to try and come back at him, and we'll see what he can do.
Does Fran become king admin for a day?
No, he's the admin. He's king admin of another community. The Spanish-speaking race from Spain, I do believe. RRS.
Those are the guys that don't like me.
I mean, a couple of them don't. I think Fran says nice things right now.
Oh hell yeah, Fran's a great guy. But a couple of his fans were not happy when I was doing giraffe facts.
Yeah, the Fran pack was not happy that we weren't talking about Fran.
Actually, I like to call them the Franny packs. If you don't understand
franchise.
that joke, yeah, the franchise. Yes, there you go. A little Shane Douglas action.
Shane Douglas with Spanish.
See.
Only thing Shane Douglas did that was really not terribly great was his stay in TNA when he was like talking about franchising people's asses. It was a bit weird.
He always said that though.
It became more of like a thing that wasn't really terribly explained.
Fair enough. Yeah, it was a thing that I heard him say for forever. All the way back into ECW and then WCW and then back into ECW.
And his terrible stay as the manager of the franchise Naturals. That was a bit weird.
Yeah, that's never good.
Honestly, any storyline involving the Naturals didn't really go well.
It's one of those things where if you try and combine names into something and it doesn't work, you should drop it immediately.
Well, it's also there's nothing ever worked with the Naturals. Like, they were two really athletic dudes, and you're thinking, oh, this should be a good tag team, and they were together for like 10 years and still sucked.
Very nice.
Like, just bad. Like, just no ring psychology whatsoever. It's like, I think I could sum them up perfectly. They had this move where Chase Stevens, the blonde one, would hold a guy up in like a torture rack, Death Valley Drivers type deal, and then then Andy Douglas, the black-haired one, would jump on him. And there was one time where they're going for this move, and this is a move they've been doing for like 10 years at this point. And Chase Stevens, to everybody in the building, was clearly too far away from the ropes for Andy Douglas to jump that far. And instead of Andy Douglas being like, hey, back up, bring him over here. Oh, God!
That guy went skating.
Oh, God. 2 Lotuses off the track. Martin Edmonds overtakes Sean Kenny under what I assume is yellow flags, but Sean Kenny may have been part of those yellow flags, so that might clear him of any wrongdoing.
No,
but that was a huge accident there. Also off the track was Fran Machuca. So huge problems. But anyways, instead of being like, hey, Chase, move closer, communicate with your tag team partner, he just jumped and like came up like 5 feet short.
Fantastic.
And then the guy on Chase Stevens' shoulders is like, do I sell this?
I just turn around and laugh at him, tell him to get up and do it again. You fucking moron, get back up there.
Pretty much. Well, Javi P is making a real fight of this with James Butler towards the end. He's got the gap down to 1.8 seconds.
Get him, Javier.
Now, with about 2 laps to go, 3 laps to go, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be enough time. We've lost Shannon Flynn from the race off of that whole carnage, as well as Fran Machuca. Somehow they're recorded as behind Fumihiro Kobayashi, which I'm not sure I agree with, because Kobayashi's been stopped in the pit lane for like the last 7 laps or so.
Me too.
Well, speaking of Javi, here he is, Javi Perez Torres, on the tail of James Butler. I believe Javi is looking for his first ever victory in the proper ESR series. He, of course, has Academy wins, but has never won a main race. I could be mistaken on that. He's going for it. I don't know if Butler has either, so we may be looking at a first-time winner either way.
Or a double in the wall special.
Could be. Somehow Sergio Mengual comes through to take the whole thing.
Ta-da!
The overall winner does not look like it is in doubt. Christopher Streppen, 13 seconds ahead of Mike Stopmill, so barring catastrophe, it will be him on the top step of the podium.
I mean, I do enjoy the catastrophes, but usually not right at the end.
So Javier's got slightly fresher tires. I want to say 2 to 3 laps fresher than Butler. I think at the time it was not the right call, but if he can catch him and pass him here, things may become different. Although personally, I think that is still a risk that wasn't required.
Do it.
In my opinion.
You don't get the championship without breaking a few eggs.
somebody in the pit lane there. I didn't catch who that was. I think it was possibly Martin Evans. But I don't think the timing agrees with that. I'm surprised this fight is still going on, because the way Travis Wallace overtook and caught Andrew D, I just thought he would kind of vanish, but Andrew D is holding him in sight. But the battle I really want to look at is this one. Javier Perez Torres now 0.6 seconds away from GT4 leader James Butler.
And Javier has that new rig with the extra cheat button, so he could win this.
Oh, he's always had that extra cheat button. Repping the Boatworks racing car today, Javi P. Lovely orange car. Very simple livery, but eye-catching nonetheless.
I'd be more interested
Mauricio Delgado off the side there.
I'd be more interested in a car that was made by somebody that works on cars, not boats.
One would think, but there's a great deal of, like, if Bull Run has taught me anything, it's a boat shop can be used to service a car.
You're not wrong.
That's how they got that Pantera working in Season 2 that was going to get eliminated because it wouldn't start.
Did they try
and then it got eliminated anyway because it lost to a Mitsubishi Evo and a Chevrolet Corvette in the elimination.
The Elimination Chamber.
And then I had to put up with Team Evo celebrating. They were just the most annoying team in the history of Bull Run. Every time they did something mildly good, it's like, look at these balls! Like, what is wrong with you guys?
Well, they couldn't afford a real car, so...
Admittedly, the Evo is actually probably a really good, like, Bull Run type car because no one really expects it to do what it can do. So, you know, it's a bit of a Trojan horse. Well, probably not the right example. Surprise weapon, I guess. There we go. Just something that over delivers based on its appearance.
Like a Trojan horse.
Kind of. So it's better than the dudes who bring the fucking Lamborghini on that thing. That's a terrible idea.
What if they brought the Lamborghini, gave it a lift kit, and then put big old mutter tires on it?
Although it should be mentioned, a Lamborghini did win Season 3 of the Bull Run somehow. Don't really know how. That came out of left field. And they didn't look like they knew anything about the car, too. They were two young Asian dudes who I guarantee you bought that with dad's money. And somehow won. I don't know. Caleb Gonzalez looking down the inside, but nothing there. Looking to get himself on the podium here against Luciano Ichazo. So good battle going on there. Good battle going on for the lead of GT4. So we got action down to the end here, which is nice. This is the final lap for Caleb, so it's either do or die here. And Andrew D is still only about 6/10 off of Travis Wall, so that fight's not over.
Put him in the wall! Oh no, don't put him in the wall. That would be inconvenient and poor sportsmanship at this point in the race.
Actually, interesting enough, the Ichazo versus Gonzalez fight is occurring right behind the Perez-Torres versus Butler fight, as Torres kind of cut off Caleb Gonzalez there under blue flags, or Luciano Ichazo under blue flags. That was not terribly nice.
Yeah.
Come on, boys. Let the faster cars through. Oh, this is getting ugly. This is not good blue flags.
Could be worse.
So Ichazo gets through and now has Butler between him and Gonzalez, and I think that's going to be crucial So I think that got Ichazo that podium spot. Torres looking for a way around. Richard DeRoche's come out of nowhere to be on the back of this now. Sorry, Grande Ricardo, though. I think 5th place is really yours, and I think this has really just broken up the fight for the GT4 lead. Your race winner will be Christoph Verstappen in the GT3 category.
And Stoffville gets another 72,000 kilograms of ballast.
Not that much, but it's an exceptional number. Stoffville second. Ichazo is going to hang on to third. Whoa, I may have spoken too soon. Run down to the finals. Gonzalez got him. Caleb Gonzalez gets Luciano Ichazo right. Oh, God. James Butler. Richard Roche. Contact on the cooldown lap. But Butler is your winner of the GT4 category ahead of Javi P. Travis Wallace comes across the line with a little spin. Andrew Delis looked like he was going for a spin as well. Martin Edmonds had a rough day. He's going to take home an 8th place finish. Which is pretty reasonable, but I think that he's going to be feeling that he deserved more and that things really just did not go his way. Sergio Mengual gets a podium for the Lotus in the GT4 category ahead of John Barker, Alex Loeffler, and Mauricio Delgado. And that is Andrew D, who is on his cool... Or no, that is not Sean Kenny. That is not remotely Sean Kenny. This is the wrong car.
You can't prove
Mr.
that.
Director. It's not a Mercedes.
The game does not make mistakes, sir.
Christopher Streppin, your winner with fastest lap to boot, as he beats by about 0.3 of a second actually over Mr. Mike Stoffmill. Stoffmill second. Caleb Gonzalez steals the podium at the end ahead of Luciano Ichazo, Richard Roche, Travis Wallace, Andrew D, Martin Edmond, Sean Kinney, Wayne Hutchison, and Max Simmons, who lost to a car whose fastest lap was 1.3 seconds slower than his. Kids, learn strategy. James Butler, Javi P, Sergio Mengual, John Barker, Alex Loeffler, and Mauricio Delgado get to the end in the GT4 category, while we lost Kobayashi, Flynn, Machuca, Zatoni, DeGroat, and Barrier.
And all your dishes.
Actually, that was literally just one top of an Ensure protein bottle.
It wasn't the quesadilla?
Nope, was not the quesadilla. I just want to quickly check the standings to see if I want to bring up anything in regards to Kobayashi's score from this race, because to my mind, that was not a finish, in my opinion, because he was stuck in the pit lane for like a good chunk of that. But you can fill in any thoughts you have on the race here to finish us off here, Mr. Byron.
I thought it was pretty good. There was lots of souvlaki, but I didn't see any onion rings, so I mean, it's kind of weird. What I like to see next time is a whole lot more burnouts. Right before you exit the pit lane, just do a big old burnout. I think that'd be cool. Get your tires warmed up immediately.
A quick championship update, GT3 category. Mike Stoppmill, who has won every race prior to this one, obviously in the lead. 300 points to the 171 of Ariel Zatoni. Martin Edmonds on 164. Richard Roche 146 and 144 for Christoph Verstreppen. In the GT4 category, it is Sergio Mengual leading the way on 237, ahead of 204 for John Barker, 198 for James Butler, 192 for Alex Loeffler, and 166 for Shannon Flynn. I don't think the penalties have been applied, though, because I know Loeffler was sitting on a penalty that won't drop him in position. He'll still be 4th place, but will drop him a bit closer to Shannon Flynn and further away from James Butler.
Penalty, 5 minutes in the pit lane for speeding.
Indeed. Javi Perez Torres moves into the top 10, displacing Zach Hemstrom with his 2nd place today. So good work there. And that's really all I have to say, other than I'm probably gonna make a thing to try to get the points that were scored there by Mr. Kobayashi kind of rejected, because I think that was a bit unfair. Anyways, For Byron Derksen and Michael Magas, thank you for joining us on this journey through the ESR Enduro series. Next stop for us will be the ESR Multiclass tomorrow from Imola with Daytona prototypes and GT4s.
Someone going to get immolated.
And of course, on August the 2nd, ACC hits Nürburgring for 1 hour race there as that championship continues. Maxi Lentini leads the championship over Mike Stockmill. We'll see if Stockmill can strike back at the Nürburgring.